Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, I have taken Shuri to rank 2. I just haven't had time to get a video out on it, and we've been going over the top 10 in each class, having a lot of fun with that. We do that semi-annually, and we did the tech roster, and a lot of people asked, I could see a lot of the comments, like, Shuri, you sure what's going on there? I think a lot of people don't know she's buffed, and I think they're just not aware of all of the things she can do. She got sold immediately as a ramp-up champion, but she's been buffed. All of that utility, all of those things are going to allow her to take all those defenders you saw on the thumbnail, plus one more, are present. There's other defenders she can take as well, but her ramp got significantly short enough where she's actually very good in Battlegrounds and Alliance War. I'm going to show you those, and then you can take that and do it in Questing 2. Let's go ahead and start off with this. This is going to be the first fight against Warlock. If you're like me, sometimes you just end up fighting Warlock, and you're like, I don't have a champion who's really great for this with all those buffs and things like that. But watch this. She doesn't make contact with her attacks. Now, I know a lot of people struggle with her defensively. Even I did a little bit, right? Getting used to the fight and that sort of thing. You can't parry her, which is also really cool because you can dive in and you know you're not going to get parry stunned. Watch out for certain attackers or defenders who can do that. But with Warlock, and so you're seeing, I'm not getting any infection. There's nothing going on here. And in doing this, I'm playing her very, very slowly and subtly, which is just simple 5-hit combos. I do want to block the attacks, right? We'll do a little bit of teaching here. This isn't going to be a full essentials video, but we'll talk about how to play her. You want to be blocking those attacks. It's going to give you that. To me, it looks like a lion or a tiger. Actually, now that I think about it, it's probably a panther. In the upper left-hand corner, the passive, and that's giving us what are called the matrix charges. And then when we hit in, they are becoming the shots on the defender. I really love her animation. I feel like there's a little bit of that extreme cocky confidence that I love about playing Domino and her moveset and her body stance and things like that, and I feel like it very much comes through in Shuri too. Okay, in that fight, we just did SP1s over and over. You're gonna see that is gonna be pretty common here as we're doing a lot of these fights. Now we're going up against this Domino, and you're like, she's good for Domino? She is good for Domino. Look, this Domino has 183,000 health, so this is a lot of health. It's probably like a rank 4 Domino. And there's a couple of things in here, and I'm not even gonna take advantage of one of them. But Shuri's adaptive technology ensures her ability accuracy cannot be altered, period. Not by mutants, not by nodes, not by defenders, not by debuffs, not by passives. It just can't be altered. That's very unique wording. I'm not sure I've actually seen that before. And then she also has immunity to shock and precision effects, but that's not what we're going to show here. And then also, her special attacks. Her predictive targeting AI ensures Shuri's special attacks cannot be evaded. I wish I had I could speed this up probably, because as you know, Domino's going to go lucky, and if you know you can throw your special attack in and she can't evade it, that's pretty big. But so here we go. You can see I'm purposely blocking these attacks, which is giving me those matrix charges. It's also going to help me get those passive armor ups, but really I'm just working on getting those passives, getting those shocks going. So every time I land an attack, I'm getting those, and I'm going to throw my SP1, and that's going to give me those passive precisions. So that is going to allow her to crit. It's something else I really love about her, but we'll do that in like a full, maybe rank 2 video or precisions. See right there, I could have actually thrown my special. I did not need to back up. This fight could have gone faster, but we're doing so much damage. I wasn't even worried about pushing Domino as far as we did. Use the striker. Keep in mind, this fight could have gone faster. Let's take a look at the score, how quickly 183,000 health. 53 seconds. No crit fail. Could have gone faster. Pretty good. All right, let's continue to move on. And with the updated Battleground scoring, fights like the fourth one I think we're going to show you, you're like, okay, that's pretty good. When you consider how tanky she is, these armor ups are helping her. And then if she's awakened, she can block unblockable specials. Now, this one, there's no like real trick to this. This is just something I want to show you because I think it's going to come up with a lot of defenders, right? We're often seeing that in Battlegrounds where it's stalled defenders. And I know there's better ways to play Nimrod, but that's why I'm showing you this fight. He's going to go unstoppable, I think, twice in this fight. This is, I believe, a rank 4 Nimrod as I'm moving way up. But because so much of her damage is this damage over time, sure, it'd be better if I was hitting Nimrod. But the fact that I'm not, he's still taking all this damage. And then going back, just kind of teaching a little bit on playing her, those precisions are making me crit. Without them, she can't crit. So that's tremendous versatility there if you really want the crits or non-crits. I threw the heavy because that transfers all of those passive precisions into the passive shocks. That's what's creating the passive shocks as any critical hit. So you can do that with the heavy. So let's say you really don't want to be critting. You can do that with the heavy, and then you go back to non-critting. And you can see right here, Nimrod went unstoppable twice. And we got him down. Time to spare. 99% health bar. So I'm not going to say full yellow health bar, but I mean, that's pretty darn good. This isn't even with her awakened. 69 seconds, 51,000 score. It's pretty good. Took a screenshot, shared it with my Discord server and my alliance mates, I'm sure. Okay, we're moving on to the next one. Now, the next two fights, they're not the prettiest, but again, my videos aren't about how good I am. They're about how good the champions are. This was the power snack meta, and this is something I want to point out to you, is that she's not getting the buff from dexterity, meaning all these nodes that punish you from gaining buffs or defenders that punish you from gaining buffs, you don't need to worry about it. Now, this fight against Rintra, remember, he's got the neutralize, and I really don't like how this interacts, but I want to point it out. This is like when you're doing the buff immune champions and things like that. If I allowed him to get, I think it's the 10 mystical charges, and his neutralize prevents a buff from happening, even though I'm immune to the buff from Dex, I still would get that rupture. So I'm really concentrating on keeping his mystical charges as low as they are. Now, fortunately, like right there, you can see it kind of works out well because you can land your heavy, like her playstyle, you're not punished too much for it. And remember, he's a beefy boy, and this is not an ideal counter. This isn't Scorpion, this isn't Human Torch, right? So this is ultimately going to go pretty well. I know I got a faster one, but I couldn't find it. I don't know if my failing recorded or if I accidentally deleted or something like that, but I still wanted to show you this. So we're working around the node of Power Snack itself. We are, I don't want to overstate it, okay? His neutralize will still be a problem for you, but we're handling it very, very well. We're doing a great job of doing the damage, and you can see our health bar is staying incredibly high. And we've got all those critical shock passives on. You can see, what is it, 1,800 a tick. So that's what, like almost 3,600, something like that. That's some pretty good damage with the change in battleground scoring. I think this might become a very good fight, potentially a great fight, not a perfect fight, but a very good to great fight. Let's see what the changes are. But in this last season, fights like that helped me make it to Mysterium. I think Mysterium 2 is where I ended up, not 1, but 2. So, I mean, that's pretty darn good. She's not a bad defender, and having someone like that who can take a variety of fights, pretty darn good. Now, Attuma's like, he is the new hotness as far as defenders are concerned in battlegrounds, in war, in questing. You do not want to make contact with this guy, right? He went through a tremendous buff, and one of the things they buffed up was his chance to make have like a Thorns type damage come back. Now, it's different than Korg's. Attuma's is contact. Like I said, Shuri doesn't make contact, and she places a shock, which is great for Attuma. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on how you look at it, this is from the war that was bugged, where the Tier 1 Alliance Defender tactic was bugged. And so as a result, Attuma is going to be gaining significantly more power. The whole plan for this fight was to bait his heavies and bait his heavies or his SP1. I think it's his SP1. And then use my heavy to transfer over the shocks, because I can't parry him. You still can't get around that part of his kit. But to get a bunch of damage up without having to crit him, right? Because the problem is going to be crit because the defender tactic was so bugged. So here we go. We're going to throw our SP1, and look how much damage we're already done to this Attuma. And you're going to see that the strategy was working very well. It's the heavy. There it is. So we've now transferred it over. One thing I would change about this is I would block more hits like I'm doing there to give myself the opportunity to put on more shocks. Like right there, I shouldn't have done the heavy. I should have come in and comboed and then thrown the SP1, in my opinion. But it's always easy to look back and say what you should have done better. And right now, I'm very happy. I mean, this fight, we're at 54% of his health. I'm at 97, having to bait, just let him hit into my block a lot, which is fine because you're getting these armor ups anyway, so it's not a big deal. You can see this is going phenomenally. And then I make the mistake. I make a big mistake, but I want to keep in mind, and make sure I show you this, that a lot of this was due to the bug defender tactic, okay? That's not how you need to play Attuma. What I'm showing you is how great she is for Attuma, that even when a tactic is bugged, there are ways in her kit to go about taking him. If I get some good Battlegrounds fights in this season, I will get those out for you so you can see them. And then I mean, I don't think that's a spoiler. We are going to solo this fight. She's so tanky. I'm just like, I'm just going to sit in this corner and I'm going to let her dot, her passive shock, there's only 9 of them, just tick this guy down until he runs out of his unstoppable there. And I'm getting ready. I'm just looking for an opening for my special. And then I don't even need to throw it because she had done so much damage with her dot. And that's what I was talking about with the fight with Nimrod is once you're getting those dots going, they're doing tremendous things. So these fights that kind of stall you, these mechanics that take time, that can cause mistakes to be made, you're still doing damage. Because you've got up your shocks and you've transferred them to passive shocks, and the buff created it so that you can refresh those through your heavy or any special. So you can keep them up longer too, or they're more easy to keep up, the amount of time they stay up, and then your ability to refresh them. She's phenomenal. She's awesome. I wanted to get this out before the Battleground season fully started because I got so many questions. A lot of you commented saying you see it, you've been playing or you're aware, but I know there's a lot of folks who hadn't. She's great. And keep in mind that non-contact, that's going to account for any other defenders or nodes that make you need to hit them for the bad things to happen to you. I think we're just scratching the surface with Shuri. I really do. I think there's so much more there. I'm looking forward to discovering it, getting that information out. And like I said, even just in making this video, it caused me to go back over her kit. And I was like, she's even better for Domino than I realized with her specials not being able to evade. And like, you know me, you know this channel. We talk about things where like, we've gotten to the point where 100% isn't enough anymore. So that's why I love, we're like, it just can't happen. Her ability accuracy cannot be altered. Let me know. Let me know if you want to see more on Shuri. Let me know if this opened your eyes or if it just kind of confirmed what you already thought. And let me know if you do want to see a essentials video on her. For those of you who aren't from my channel, that means where I do a full how-to play and guide. Those take a lot more time to make sure I get them right so they don't come out as frequently. But with certain champions like this, I'm very open to it. And I want to get out the information that people want to see. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.